Hey y'all, Hot Rod Dad here. Tuesday morning here in Tennessee, and I thought I'd do a quick little Tech Tip Tuesday. Today I'm replacing the tail lights on Oscar here. I've got a busted tail light lens, as you can see right there, and the replacement tail lights, just like these, only come with about 5 or 6 inches of wire, and I need to splice those into the wiring harness. So today I thought I'd show you the quick, easy way that I use to splice wires. So let's check it out. Here's a piece of wire that's typical to automotive, marine, aircraft applications. It's finely stranded wire, and traditional means of splicing that together would be solder and heat shrink, which is very good splice, but maybe not the most convenient if you're up under a dash of a car or in a place where you may burn yourself or drop hot solder on you. You can also use these pre-insulated butt splices you can pick up at the hardware store. I don't like these very well. They're prone to corrosion if they're in an area that has moisture, and they're bulky. I don't like those. Here's what I'll be using today. These are ferrule connectors. They're commonly used in industrial wiring applications. They come in a lot of different sizes. I use this size a lot. It's a 2.5 millimeter. Now, what they're used for is to put on the end of stranded wire like that. And that essentially, when crimped, makes a solid wire. So it's easy to put into terminal strips and to make good connections so that the wire doesn't fray out on the ends. You can pick these up on eBay in packs from 100 to 1,000. They're very inexpensive. You can also pick up the tool to use to crimp those with. Here's the tool that I'll be using. It's Avon brand. It's a ratcheting crimping tool, and this is a pretty expensive model, but you can pick up the regular manual ones on the eBay for about $10. The first thing you want to do is take this insulated skirt off. These come when insulated and non-insulated. This just happens to be what I have around the shop. So the first thing I want to do is take that off. And you can use a utility knife or a pair of strippers. Here's one I've already done. And you notice right there it has a little beveled end on one end, and that is to help guide the wire into the ferrule. On the other end is just straight. As you can see right there, I've already got the tail light mounted and the wires stripped, and I've already went and installed the ferrules on the first wire. Now what you want to do is use the unbeveled end to slide onto the first wire, and leave the wire a little long so that it don't get entangled with the second wire that you're going to slide in. And that beveled end will help guide your second wire in. So what I'm doing here is just putting the second wire in, and like I said, that beveled connection kind of helps guide those strands in. You want to pick a connector that is just big enough that you can put both wires in and it be snug without a whole lot of play. Now I'm going to take my crimpers here and use the 2.5 millimeter setting right there. just like that, and crimp that down. And there's the connection you're left with. And I guarantee you will not pull this apart. You'll pull the wire apart before you pull that apart. You can see it here. It's got these little indentions or ridges right here that compresses down into the wire and gives you a good mechanical connection. Now, word of advice, make sure that you put your heat shrink on before you crimp your wires together. Now, as you can see right here, I've got both of those connections made. And you can see how small that these crimps are compared to a butt splice. Now follow that up with a good epoxy lined heat shrink, and you've got a connection that'll last the lifetime of your wiring harness. So I hope this helped you out, and as always, y'all get out there and build something.